Hello everyone, welcome back to Technique. In this video, we'll be doing the detailed camera review of the OnePlus Nord 6. Now the OnePlus Nord 6 has been launched in India with the Snapdragon 8s Gen 4. It's a really good device in terms of the pricing, the hardware offered. Now it comes with a dual camera setup and a selfie camera, and let's find out how good the camera experience is on this device for this price segment. Now the OnePlus Nord 6 pricing starts below 40,000 rupees, and that's a great value considering the hardware and other aspects. So let's go straight into the camera to find out how it performs in this segment. So before going into the video, if this is your first time on this channel, do hit that subscribe button and also hit the bell icon to get notified of all the videos we publish. So let's start with the camera hardware. Now the primary camera is a Sony Light 600 sensor. It's a 50 megapixel shooter, optical image stabilization is included, f1.8 aperture. Now the secondary camera is an 8 megapixel ultra wide omnivision sensor, and on the selfie camera you get a 32 megapixel selfie camera without autofocus. Now that's definitely a downgrade considering that the OnePlus Nord 5 came with a 50 megapixel selfie camera with autofocus. This is definitely a downgrade, but let's see how good the camera experience is on this device. So let's start off with the daylight captures taken with this device. So looking at the daylight shots, you can see here there is plenty of details on offer, good colors, good sharpness levels, and the dynamic range also looks good. The colors are nicely done, especially the sky colors looks very much natural looking. But one thing what you notice is that there is a bit of sharpening happening in the image while processing, but not much evident. But when you zoom in, you can definitely see that sharpening effect, but not a major concern though. These are things, small things which can be fixed with software updates. But overall I would say the primary camera, the 50 megapixel shooter, does a good job, and overall details and sharpness levels definitely looks good, and the dynamic range and overall the quality looks good. Now you can also do 2x photos, that's the in-sensor zoom. Once again it looks good, there is good amount of details, and sharpness levels are also acceptable for this price segment. Now looking at the ultra wide angle camera, while it is an 8 megapixel basic ultra wide, it does a quite good job actually, quite surprising result. There is good details and sharpness levels, but obviously it has the limitation of 8 megapixel shooter. But overall I would say it does a quite good job, especially in terms of colors and overall dynamic range. It looks similar to the primary camera, so it's definitely usable. Now looking at the close-up images, once again the primary 50 megapixel shooter does a quite good job with details and sharpness levels also. Although there is no macro mode, you can shoot decent quality images in terms of the close-up shots, and they have come pretty good, and overall quality and sharpness levels are pretty much good on this device. So overall I would say the primary camera does a good job, especially in terms of daylight condition. Only thing is that there is a bit of over sharpening at times. Now moving on to the portraits, this is one area where we feel it's a mixed performance. If you look at the portraits taken in extreme sunlight, you can see that the skin tones are kind of reddish or orange in tones. It's not the real skin tones, and colors are not really accurate. That's one thing which is kind of needs improvement. But in indoor portraits, you can see that the skin tones come really well, and even without bright sunlight falling on the face, the skin tone definitely looks good. So there is a bit of issue with extreme sunlight, so that's one area where they need to improve. Now moving on to the low light conditions, you can see here in indoor lights there is good amount of details on offer, and the sharpness levels and the quality definitely looks good in the indoor shots, and with adequate lighting also there is good details and sharpness levels. Noise levels are kept to minimum, so the primary camera does a good job. Overall I would say there isn't much to complain here, considering that the primary camera does a good job. Now indoor low light shots also it came out quite good overall. Now when it comes to outdoor mode, extreme low light, there is good amount of details, although there is a bit of over sharpening happening here as well. But overall I would say it's quite a good performance, at least in this price segment. There is hardly anything to complain really for this price segment. Now moving on to the selfie, it's a downgraded 32 megapixel selfie camera, but skin tones here looks much better than the portraits. Here it's more natural looking. This is probably the color that portraits needs to have, especially in terms of extreme sunlight. So selfies definitely looks good. There is no autofocus, but selfies turned out to be quite good overall, and even the portrait selfies also turned out to be pretty good in terms of edge detection. Now moving on to the video recording. Now 4K 60 FPS footage actually looks good. The stabilization is done well, and the details and sharpness also looks good. The colors are also nice and wide, and the dynamic range also looks good. So the 4K 60 FPS footage is kind of good. I wouldn't say there is any issues here, and the stabilization also works pretty well. Now the 1080p footage also is very similar. The stabilization is done well. The colors are maintained similar to the 4K 60 FPS, which is good. And overall, I would say there isn't much to complain here in terms of overall quality, and the sharpness levels are also acceptable along with the dynamic range. Now the ultra wide angle camera is a basic 8 megapixel and can do only 1080p 30 fps. This pretty much average, I would say. Colors definitely looks good, but overall video quality is kind of average at its best because it's an 8 megapixel shooter. So this is the 4K 30 fps footage taken using the selfie camera on the OnePlus Nord 6. So it can record maximum of 4K 30 fps. There's no 4K 60 fps for the selfie camera. So you can judge yourself how good the clarity of the video is and also the audio output from the video. So that was a detailed camera review of the OnePlus Nord 6. So summing up, I would say OnePlus Nord 6 is quite a good shooter, especially in terms of daylight conditions, and even the 2x shots came out quite well. The low light experience was also adequate, and there is good details on offer. The selfie camera, although downgraded, looks quite good actually. There isn't much to complain. The selfie camera does not have 4K 60 fps, but otherwise it's good. But one thing, one area where OnePlus Nord 6 needs to improve is the portraits, where the skin tones are not very accurate. It's kind of slightly reddish in tone. That needs to be improved, especially with software updates. It's pretty much possible. So that's one area where we feel OnePlus Nord 6 should be improving. But otherwise, it's quite a good shooter in this price segment. So that was the detailed camera review of the OnePlus Nord 6. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. What do you guys think about the cameras on this device? Do let us know your thoughts looking at the camera samples we are shown. So that's it for this video. This is Nirmal signing off. Thanks for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. Have a great day.